Hi, and welcome to the webinar. Hopefully you can hear me. You should have heard music starting. We will begin once all members are in attendance. You should have heard music playing right now, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Adrian Bustillos, and I will be doing an overview today on my online course, and we'll be talking about assessments in the classroom today. If you can hear me by now, this will be an audio check. If you can just hear me up. On the bottom left hand side of your any meeting, you have a chat box. So if you can hear me, go in there and type yes. You can hear me, or no, you can't, so we can do an audio check. Or another thing you can do is go to the top where it says My Mood, and if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. As you can see on the left hand side, I can hear myself, so I'll give myself a thumbs up. Or if you can hear me, give me a thumbs down, which you can also do. And at any time, if you have any questions today, you can go to My Moods and raise your hand, and I can open a mic for you. Or another thing you can do is type your questions in the chat box, and I can respond to you there. So thank you, and let's proceed. So we'll be talking about two types of assessments today, and why they are important. Student learning is an integral part of the learning process, and to be able to check for understanding from students, there's two types of assessments that you can use. One form is formative assessments, and another form is a summative assessment. Now let's see what's the difference between these two. Formative assessments. This is defined as an assessment carried out during the instructional process for the purpose of improving teaching or learning. As we go through formative assessments, these are quick, easy ways that an instructor can see if students are getting the understanding of the lesson. So one way to do this in formative assessments is a process that understands its close relationship to instructional scaffolding. So you can build upon one another, using building blocks to check for understanding throughout your class period. Now, some types of formative assessment include observation. A teacher can be observing students as they work independently, in pairs, in groups, to listen for academic language, fix misconceptions. In student conferences, teachers can pull students individually or again in groups to check for understanding by asking questions on the topic at hand. Portfolios, students can create interactive notebooks, which are also known as portfolios, where teacher can check for understanding, read the summaries that students write at the end of each unit or each day, look at the posters that they have. Another type of formative assessment is prior knowledge. Mostly, a lot of times, teachers would like to do bell ringers to start the class, which may cover topics or questions from the previous day assignment, just to see where students are at and check for understanding. A grade does not have to be assigned to it, but a grade can be assigned to it just to get students motivated to participate. Another type of formative assessment are rubrics. Rubrics can be provided to students so students can know what to be checking for and looking for. This actually puts the knowledge in the student's hand. So what I'm going to do right now here is I'm going to ask a poll, and if you can please participate, I'm going to ask a question here about formative assessments. Okay, if you can just pick one for me, you'll be able to send your response. Again, these are anonymous. There is no, I cannot see who's saying what. So be honest and go from there. Give me 1 second, and I'll pop it right up. This is a neat tool here. This is also one type of formative assessment to throw on. There is a show of hands or questions. So this is a type of formative assessment in action. Okay, here we go. If you can go ahead for me now, read over the poll question and mark your choices up. Okay, here's your poll in progress right in the middle. What type of formative assessments have you tried? Observations, student conferences, portfolios, prior knowledge, and rubrics. I'll give you about 30 seconds to think about this and vote. And while you're reading, I'm going to go ahead and throw some music back on for you. You might see my screen. Okay, well, thank you. That was a quick vote. I see there's one vote in there for prior knowledge. Well, thank you, and I encourage you to try using these other types of formative assessments. Okay, I'm going to go back and head back to our PowerPoint here. So now let's see what's next. Okay, now the next type of another type of assessment are summative assessments. These type of assessments can be important milestones on the same learning continued from formative assessments. These are usually done at end of units, chapters, or modules to look at a big chunk of learning that just took place. Again, formative assessments are throughout the learning process as you're learning. These are at the end. These are the chunks to see how they perform. One thing I like to understand is when I look at the word summative, sum means to add it all up. So add up all the learning into this one learning tool. So this is one way it differs from a formative assessment. Okay, now summative assessments should not be repeats of the formative assessment. If you're using polls or rubrics or portfolios that are quick daily tickets in, tickets out, this is not a type of summative enforcement. You can do a big essay on a content. You can do chapter test at the end. Those are kind of examples of summative assessments. It's pretty much a follow-up to the learning unit, what you did at the end. And one of the processes this helps is during the summative assessment is it's a mental process of the contest. It's all the content that's been built upon each other at the end. Again, and these tests direct to the topic and skills tested throughout that learning unit. Alright, we're going to go ahead here real quick and have another poll. Let me pull it up real quick. Okay, again, these polls are anonymous, so go ahead and select it. I can't see who selecting what, so be honest. And if you have any questions at this time, go ahead and place them in the chat box in the bottom left. Okay, this poll is going to be on the types of assessments. And which one do you prefer? Okay, let me go ahead and throw this right up for you. Okay, what type of system do you prefer? Go ahead and select. I'm gonna go formative. I like formatives. They're quick, they're easy, but I do understand the importance of summative. So stop voting. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna close the poll there. All right. On conclusion, what did you learn in this unit? If you'd like to share, go ahead and ask for a mic. If not, place it in the chat box. And if there's no questions or asking for mics, thank you. Thank you for attending. If you have any questions on types of assessments, please email your questions to me. Thank you for joining me and have a nice evening.